Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It's January 7th, 2019. Today, a follow-up in the story stemming from Friday evening, January 4th, the shooting at the bowling alley in Torrance, California. It was the Gable House Bowl. I covered how that story was contrived propaganda, and true to form, days later, they've put out a suspect that has been arrested. And take a look at the photo. What decade does this look like it's from? Early 90s? It probably is. In case you're new here, I expose how every single day the media, the police, the government, they conspire and contrive propaganda by a code of letters and numbers and dates in the calendar year. And one of the favorite numbers of this organization is 47. Today, they arrested the suspect supposedly on a date with 47 numerology. And not only that, but they reported he's 47 years old and his name is Reginald. And in Gematria, Reginald sums to 47. I have merchandise that you can buy that says, "What is 47?" Hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs. For years, I've said, if you want to introduce this subject to friends and family, tell them to pay attention to how often 47 shows up in news stories. It's overwhelming, especially on dates with 47 numerology. And this is a very special number to Freemasonry. And as I talked about in the first video I did on the shooting, it's Freemasonry that's responsible for this. Notice in Gematria, policeman equals 47, so does cop, so does government, so does authority. There's a whole lot more to that list. The Freemasons have something called the 47th problem of Euclid, which is about how to establish foundation. Authority is the foundation. The Freemason compass set at 47 degrees in tribute to the 47th problem of Euclid. It could be a coincidence, but the word racist also equals 47, and look at who's to blame. A black man. The media, the police, they love to shame black people and their often racially charged propaganda. And look at the criminal justice system, full of incarcerated black men who are innocent, who have no reason to be behind bars. You know, when I was growing up as a child, every night on the nightly news, some scare story with a black man on the loose. You know, anybody who grew up in the 80s knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's not as bad now as it used to be, but it's still the case. Earlier today, I covered the story of the shooting of the little girl. And then supposedly they arrested the suspect because he got pulled over because he didn't use his turn signal. In other words, driving while black. And then his name is Black. Give me a break. Anyway, they do use this number in racist propaganda. Go back and see all the stories this past summer of the MLB pitchers who got busted for racist tweets. A lot of those stories came on dates with 47 numerology and 47 days from the baseball player's birthday. We were covering that this summer. But just understand, all of this stuff is contrived crap by a code. 47-year-old Reginald busted by the police on the date with 47 numerology. Absolutely not an accident. And in case you missed the prior decode of the shooting, I always tell people, circle the days on your calendar with 44 numerology. The first date with 44 numerology for this year, 2019, was January 4th, 2019, which ended up being the day of this shooting. In Gematria, shooting equals 44, so does gunfire. This happened in Torrance, California. Torrance, CA is 44. The story comes from the police. Officers, 44. The date January 4th can be written 4/1 like 41. Gable House equals 41, the name of the bowling alley where the shooting happened. Think about the movie Bowling for Columbine. They said the shooters who shot up Columbine went bowling before the shooting. Bowling in our 4-base ciphers has Gematria of 37 and 107. Shooting has the Gematria of 107 and 37 as well. Gunfire, also 37. They said 3 dead, 4 injured, murder 34. My guess is 0 dead, 0 injured, complete hoax. He said the shooting was at 11:54 p.m. In numerology, 11 is the master number. It doesn't need to be reduced. 54 is 9, so it's 11-9, like 119, like 911 in reverse, like Fraternal Order of Police is 119, like how Fraternal is 58, like how Freemasonry is 58, like how Rosicrucian is 58, like how Secret Society is 58. I bring that up because this shooting came 58 days after the bar shooting in Los Angeles, not far from Torrance. And in that bar shooting, they said the shooter was Ian David Long, whose name equaled 58. And they said the survivors of that bar shooting had survived the Las Vegas massacre where 58 people were killed. And again, that shooting came 58 days from the governor's birthday, whose birthday is 5/8. Just make these points to remind you who's responsible. Freemasonry. They code all their numbers again and again in their propaganda. The Masonic motto is order out of chaos. That means create the chaos and then bring about the order, which is what? More law enforcement, more cameras, more surveillance, more fear, more loss of liberties. From what I understand, this isn't what Freemasonry was supposed to be. It's that Freemasonry got hijacked. And back in the 1700s, a powerful Freemason king said Freemasonry needed to be abolished because it had been hijacked and corrupted and was now a sinister plot. Well, here we are 300 years later, and there can be no doubt about that. This doesn't mean everyone that's a Freemason is a bad person. There's plenty of people in Blue Lodges who know nothing about any of this, but it's Freemasonry in high places. Government, media, corporation, banking, they're responsible. They're here to control us. Government is about control. Media is a tool of government. Money, here to control us, full of Masonic symbolism. You know, I don't have any more to say, Truth Seeker. It'll be the same thing next week, the week after. I'm just wondering when this information is going to go viral. People are going to catch on. People are going to start caring. You know, all the critics of this work, not to be crude, all the critics of this work truly are gaping assholes that like getting raped by their government, period. So we'll leave it there. Until next time.